Yo, what's happening, good people? This is Ive from askivesolar. I wanted to go live today to see if you guys had any questions. I put out 2 beginner-friendly videos. They are so it's a little housekeeping. They are some of my lowest viewed videos, which is okay. That's not a problem. They're kind of trending on par with what my views typically are, especially for this winter season. I know that's not necessarily as relevant. I say that to say I made those to serve the community, not necessarily for views or anything like that. I think they will have what's called a long tail effect, whereas people kind of come into wanting to learn about power stations, YouTube will show them those videos because I think those videos are getting pretty good feedback and good watch time and all that jazz. So I wanted to do a live where I kind of answered some questions because a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people, but some people are new to power stations, even though they may have them, they may not have them. So I got some really good feedback from people watching those videos and saying that they were helpful to them. So I wanted to see, kind of chat with y'all, hang out for a little bit, provide a couple updates. Maybe we could talk about some of those things. And if you have questions, go ahead and, you know what I mean? What's up, Siobhan? Let me make sure I have my comments the way that they should be, because I don't see much happening. But I do have a couple updates. We had like this big snowstorm come through. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't crazy, but it put a lot of snow on the ground, which is no big deal. I live somewhere where it snows. It's not a big deal. I charged up all my power stations from the wall. That hurt me a little bit. I cried a tear inside for my electric bill. It wasn't a ton though, but I'm pretty sure it'll add up whenever I look at my bill and see what my usage was from that day. Because I can store a good at least 2.5 kilowatts of power in these devices. I mean, I have 2 OOPs at 500 a piece. That's one right there. My EV120 is 1.2. I have the Smart List, which is 500. I have the EcoFlow, which is 500. I have the EV70, which is 700. That's like 3 right there, I think. I don't math too well on the fly. What's up, South Padre? We got Sleeper. Shouts to Javi. What's going on? Auntie Blessings. Hey, good to see you. All right. So I powered up all of my power stations. I charged everything up. It was definitely an exercise in pulling all my gadgets out. I got tons of cables, USB-C to USB-C cables. I have multiple of these little USB-C chargers. Auntie Blessings, this is what I was talking about when I say you can charge your Go Labs. It's like the Go Labs, the Energizer from USB-C. That USB-C cable, this particular power brick can put out 90 watts. So if you plug that cable into here, right, and then you plug that into your Energizer, this will charge it at 90 watts, which is dope. So I had all of these things out. I bought 2 of these during Black Friday. I was going to return one of them. These are $60 now a piece. They typically run about 55 or $49. This is a 60 watt Anker power port. Anker Nano 3. The 65 watt one. I bought 2 of these for $35 a piece. I was thinking about returning it because I don't really necessarily like the form factor compared to this one. I like this one because it's a little more narrower, whereas like this one is like chunkier. They're both very, very small, but I decided to keep it because I felt like I'd never find this thing for $35 again. So I actually used it to charge up my power stations. I had the Smart List is pretty much always charged. That's this one right here. For you guys who don't know, the Smart List, this one is always charged. At least lately. I haven't been using it lately. I just kind of keep it in the cut as a reserve. I had the bull bat charging from two of, I might as well not put them away. I had to pull that charger from two of these off of the wall, giving it 60 watts a piece or 65 watts a piece or whatever. So that was a good look. I had to pull out did I have to pull out the big boy charger for the 120? I think my 120 was relatively full because I had it on solar the days leading up to the storm and I wasn't using it. I'm going to try to not use that one so much because what I do is I'll run it all the way down, running my deep freezer in my little small fridge down in the basement. Man, I charged up everything. I had stuff all over the place. I had stuff all over the place under my desk. The only thing I did not charge up was the Tech Eyes. I did not charge this one up. This one just chilled. I put it on solar today. You can see it didn't get much. This thing pulls in 85 watts though. I love that. My wife's getting a phone call. No power issues at all. I'd rather be safe than sorry, so I charge everything up just in case. But we didn't have any issues. Our power didn't even blip, not for a second. We pretty much, if you guys have been kind of following along for a while, we pretty much don't have power outages. So fingers crossed, I guess. I don't know if that's something I'm into anyway. But let's see what y'all talking about because I've been running my trap. Siobhan said hi. South Party said hi. Did that. Auntie Blessing. Shots of hobby. Oh man, you got a picture up. Nice. Good for you. It's good to see your face, man. Nathan was commenting on a comment video and he was asking me when I was going live, and I was like, no, I probably will go live today. So let's see what he's talking about. My EcoFlow river stopped charging today, and then it would only charge to 74%. Not sure what's going on. Less than a month old. Send it back to Amazon. I'm going to try again. You're going to try again with something different, or you're going to try again with an EcoFlow dip. I know Auntie Blessings. That's kind of music to her ear. She had one and she sent it back. I don't think she even opened it, but I couldn't be mad. I could not be mad. Not at all. We saw snow, but it did not stick. I did not have to use my Energizer P20 during that time. It is supposed to head back down midweek here in GA. Yeah, I saw all those people stuck on the highway in Virginia, and it made me think about what happened down there in Georgia, I guess a few years ago, which is crazy to me how traffic gets stopped up that way and you can't get off the interstate. That blows my mind. It blows my mind. I'm from New Orleans. I don't live there now, and I don't plan on ever going back. But whenever there's hurricanes, they kind of always talk about this fancy plan where they're going to use all 4 lanes of I-10 going out, and you don't ever see that happening. I just don't understand why people can't get that right. I don't understand how people get stuck on highways. It's like, in my mind, I could be wrong, but in my mind, I guess that would be a mess. But it's like the police walk the people back, get everybody off. But I don't know where you would go. But I'd much rather go back to my work building than be stuck on the freaking highway. Anyway, I'm ranting. Panels can be linked to the EcoFlow Pro. I don't know what that's in context to. USB-C 65 watts. The Anker Nano. Yeah, don't buy it right now, Auntie Blessing. You can get I want to say anything, but I have my own parameters for shopping for USB-C chargers on Amazon. I don't like buy anything. I kind of stick with the Rad Powers, the Aukis, and Anker. Actually, this Anker one, the reason why I got this one, this is called the Anker something light. I guess I got to pull it back here because this is manual focus. This one was $35. That's why I got it. It's a 65 watt USB-C charger. I got that one. There's a Pro. The Pro, all it has is a folding plug like this one. It folds in. That's the only difference. And the Pro is like $40. And I was like, I don't care about folding plugs and all that jazz. So I got this one. Extremely happy with this one. This is the Anker. I cannot see this writing. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out my magnifying glass. I love this for looking at power usage on things that I can't see. It's a lifesaver. This is the Anker PowerPort 3 65 watt pod light. I'll put a link to this stuff in the whatevers when the whatevers is over. Let's see. What's up, Frederick? Yes, got to try out my DIY power station, computer and router, also some lights in the microwave for 3 minutes. It was a good test run. That's what's up, man. You think you're going to keep doing it, or you tested it and you're done? Because once you start doing that stuff, man, it's hard to not do it. What's up, Beats? What's happening? Good to see you. No, I did not open the Costco box. Elbow call. Man, you're not feeling well? Jeez, that sucks. Seems like everybody's sick. The lucky thing is we were sick, but we were sick with some normal stuff. So I could tell because none of us had any body aches or anything like that. What's up, I can? Beginner videos are awesome. I don't know what else I could make a beginner video on. And Jasonoid was like, you know, he had a tip of the hat to me. And he was like, man, this beginner series is really cool. Keep them coming. And I was like, I don't know what else to talk about. What else can I explain? I don't think there's much more to do a whole video on. I don't know. Y'all help me out. What would y'all like me to try and explain? Let me know. Hey, Tina. Giveaway time. What's up, Bobby Brown? I'm glad you made it. I had like a half glass of water last time I went live. I played myself, man. Ran out of water. Didn't want to get up. I felt played. Sadfire McCraven, what battery do you recommend to have to power that? Wait. Give me that one more time. What battery pack do you recommend to have power that lasts the most without powering up? You're just talking about the battery with the largest amount of watt hours. In my mind, without knowing your personal situation, the cheapest thing that I've seen with the biggest capacity is that EB240. It has 2.4 kilowatts on paper. You're not going to get all that. You might get like 1.8 or 1.9, but that's not a lot of power. But it's more than most of us are dealing with. The most I have right now in a single device is 1.2 kilowatts on paper. I'll probably get like a kilowatt or 900 and something watt hours. Yeah. Does that answer the question? Sadfire McCraven. My old man says I want a power outage. I so want to use all my preps. I dig that. Yeah, it's like you kind of, when you're prepared, you're not as apprehensive. It's like, yeah, you go out, power, especially for a short period of time. That's a good look. You have power go out for like a few hours or a night or something like that, and you got your stuff and you know that you're covered. It's a great feeling. Faithful. That's an interesting way. Am I saying that right? Faithful Harvest. Hello there. Hey, Darlene. Good to see you. In general, what does it take? In general, what does it take in solar power generator to run a fridge or freezer? Hope that makes sense. In general, I don't know. I can't really speak on it. I'll formulate something in a second because I have watched many videos of people. When you say fridge freezer, you mean a refrigerator, right? A refrigerator with a freezer built in. Or are you talking? Because that's what I call a fridge. I call the refrigerator, but it has a freezer. But people seem to like say a fridge freezer. So are you saying a fridge and a standalone chest freezer? Or are you just saying a refrigerator that has a freezer built in? Help me out. But to answer in general, I think that you can look at your fridge and see what the amps, the volts and amps rating is. I think mine is 120 volts and it's rated at 5.6 amperes. That's what amps are short for. So I assume that that would be the max rating. So 120 times 5.6, without getting all mathy, that's probably like 650 watts. But that's really for when the compressor like turns up or comes on or kicks in. A typical refrigerator will probably use somewhere around 200 watts, maybe even less, like 165, 140. I've seen people run, throat is scratchy. I've seen people run refrigerators and they only use like 140 some odd watts if you're not counting a compressor and if it's closed. Either. I don't know about the freezer. My deep freezer downstairs, it power jumps surges up to like 1400 watts, I believe. I think I saw that really quickly on my EB120. But then casually it uses about 100 some odd watts. So it's the surge that really gets us. I wonder if we'll ever get to a point, because of this way we're going with solar, I wonder if we'll ever get to a point where we start getting more into DC powered appliances, or some type of soft start like they do with air conditioners. I don't know much about that. Hobotech talks about that, and I've heard other people talk about it, which is that you don't need as much power for a device to start up. It kind of has some type of gradual thing where it doesn't need to go as high. I wonder if that'll be like a real thing in the future, if consumers will want that from manufacturers, and if manufacturers will then provide us with things that don't spike so freaking high, because it's really wild that they go up so high, but to only run for like 117 watts or 150 watts. That's interesting. A beginner video for people new to YouTube, how to comment, send money, etc. You'd be surprised how some watch but don't comment because they are something. Yeah, but I can't make that video because that video is not what my audience signed up for. You kind of want to, there's videos out there. If what I can do is I can find a video, if there's one out there, and share it with my viewers. But for people who signed up for solar, you see this all of a sudden, this idea of like, okay, how to be a YouTube viewer? And it's just like, what? So then they wouldn't click it, and it's a whole thing with the algorithm. Now, one-off video wouldn't do that, but YouTube shares your videos based on how well your last video performed, or how many, and don't quote me on all of this. I'm kind of just sharing secondhand information. But they share your videos based on how your last videos performed. I have an upright freezer and a refrigerator. I gotcha. What you need to get, Bobby Brown, just off top, is you can read your labels to see how much power those devices use, and then you can also opt to buy a watt meter. Harbor Freight typically has the kilowatt meter. I have one around here, like literally right next to me. Excuse me. I also have another one that starts with a P or something, but my wife cleaned up downstairs, and I haven't found it yet. She says it's in a bin, and I haven't looked in that bin. I'm pretty sure that's where it is, but just leave it alone. But the basement does look good when she does it. But anyway. So you can get a watt meter, and then you can measure how much power your devices use. Not only can you measure the instantaneous draw, but you can leave it on there for 24 hours, and then you can see how much power your device uses for 24 hours. I did that to my deep freezer. I think my deep freezer over a 12 or 24-hour period only used about like 800 watts or something like that. It was something minuscule, or maybe it was 8 hours, because I remember telling my wife, oh, it only uses about 100 watts an hour. So yeah, I mean, you could go that route. The power was off here for 3 hours, and I used a DIY power station until bedtime. Here, power goes on and off. A test run and ready for next time. What's here? Where area? You can be as vague or as specific as you want, because you know the internet is a wild place. Okay, crazy. What's happening? Is 18 gauge wire enough for a 120 watt solar panel? I don't know. First of all, I'm not an expert in that regard. 18 gauge is really small wire. With that being said, that should be fine, especially if you're not going a long way. Keep in mind that I think the solar panels themselves, the wires that are on them, I think are 14 gauge. So 18 gauge is a little bit tinier. So let me put things into perspective for you. This is a male to male cable. It has two male 5521 connections on the end. I use this to charge power stations, but they never go as high as 120 watts. And this is like 18 gauge wire. So they typically, I'm not saying that they wouldn't go that high, but they typically work for like CCTV cameras, and they'll come with like power stations and portable solar panels and things like that. But it'll typically be to transmit about like 80 watts, 90 watts. So they'll be rated for 120 watts, but also this cable isn't but this long. It's like not even 5 feet. It's like 3 foot. So it depends on how long. 18 gauge should be fine. I wouldn't set out to buy 18 gauge because that's just too tiny or whatever. I did do some research as it relates to wire gauge, but that was with AC. And I don't know if the same thing applies with DC, but all I could find when I looked into it, and I wasn't super committed like you read about, but all I could find was length gauges for AC cables. Did I put your comment up? I don't think I did. That was your question. What power station did you use for the deep freezer? I used the EB120. None of my smaller ones can handle that surge. The crazy part is the EcoFlow should be able to handle that surge, but that's another story. Let me see what these churns is doing. Bear with me. My wife is probably taking a nap, and 3 of my 4 kids are asleep. So that's what I used. And to be honest with you, I don't know what happens with my deep freezer. We've had that deep freezer for a long time. I still need to do a video on that, but let me give you a little sneak peek. What happens is I plug my deep freezer into that EV120, which has a 1000 watt inverter with a 1.2 or 1200 watt capacity. What it does is it gets up to about 900 watts, and then something clicks off. But my light is still on, and my EB120 doesn't tell me that it's put out an error. So the deep freezer continues to work, and I'll see it use like 120 watts when it starts to cool itself again. But I have also just recently, I saw it jump up to about 1400 watts on my EB120 for like a second or so. And I heard a click, but it didn't turn off. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I wish I had something a little bit bigger so I could see how high it really goes. And that's why I want to get an inrush measuring clamp meter, because I want to be able to see how much power these devices are registering, even for that short amount of time. That it's like surge is one thing, but I think inrush is like a different thing. And you need to get maybe it's not different, but you need to get a clamp meter that can measure that inrush, because not all of them are fast enough to capture that. Hey, Nevada. Good to see you. Okay, Southern West Virginia. I gotcha. Geez, why is my throat so scratchy? Excuse me for 1 second, guys. I did have a cold. I'm kind of just getting over having a cold. Yeah. How would I use an inverter generator differently from a power station with an inverter? I haven't. What's all that, buddy? Did I turn my mic back on? I did. Oh, okay. An inverter generator. Differently from a power station with an inverter. I'm assuming you mean a gas inverter generator. Hey, Ivan. Ivan, I need you to go wake mommy up so she can grab the baby. You can pause it if you want to. Outside of I guess I don't know how to answer that. Outside of the blatant differences between, let me say this: an inverter generator is, from what I know, it's very similar to your wall power, in that my understanding is that it uses the amount of power that it needs, whereas like your standard generator cranks out all of that power all the time. So I don't know that you would use it differently. I mean, the fact that you have to put gas in it and all that jazz, that's one difference. But I don't think there's any real way to differentiate how I would use one of those. Hey, Melissa. Melissa says I got two AC 200p. Long story. A Go Power Plus and an Ego 4. I also have collected 4 100-watt panels. Investing in more panels soon. They definitely come in handy. Man, this scratchy throat stuff is killing me. I'm gonna have to get some honey in a second or something. I don't understand what's going on. This is weird. I guess maybe I'm doing all this talking. That's probably what's going on. That I want to hear that story. How did you get two AC 200Ps? That sounds like a good story for sure. When the compressor kicks on is when there is surge. I'm no electrician, but I think that's a fair thought. I think that's a pretty fair thought. I'd make that comparison in this particular situation. There are some other situations where there is surge as well, like an air compressor, but I guess that's a condenser too, maybe. There's also saws that have a spike or a surge as well. But yeah, you're thinking along the same line, the right lines, I suppose. Vinegar or lemon juice in your water to cut up the phlegm. I don't know. It might be phlegm. You could be right. Auntie Blessings. You could be right. Wayne, what's happening, man? Good to see you. It's all good. You get on when you can. You stay how long you can. You leave when you want. No shame here. Oh, man. Jasonoid, what's going on, man? Since Jasonoid is here, talk about that. This little thingamajig. I got my fan, buddy. I was excited. Jasonoid did a video on his channel. Please go and check it out if you haven't seen it. It was really good. He talked about like his top 5 things he likes to run off of his portable power stations, or something like that. I'm planning on doing a similar video at some point. The reason why I got this fan is because he said it uses 5521. We talked about this earlier, but I have this 5521 male to male cable. So I should, in theory, not in theory because I did it, I should be able to plug this into my power station, which has 5521, and just pop it right into here, right? And then I can use this fan off of DC. How dope is that, right? That's pretty dope. So thanks to Jasonoid, I got this fan. I had been looking for a fan that used about 10 watts, and that was a little bit bigger than... I haven't pulled this thing out in a minute. 1, because it's winter. And 2, because it's a very niche item. This is my other fan that I got. Bring it in, bring it in. Reverse. I love this little thing too. I don't use it as often because, like I said, it's cold, but I wanted something that uses a little bit more power. Now, on the DC to DC connection, right? This thing pulls 8 watts on high and like 6 or 5 watts on, I think it's 6 watts on low, which is great. I imagine that Jasonoid can answer this for me. I imagine that it probably pulls about 10 watts off the AC adapter, but I love running stuff off of DC. So that's pretty cool. If y'all want to grab one of those, you can go to Jasonoid's video and use his Amazon link thingy, or you could use mine. It's up to you. You're the consumer. It's up to you. But I got the idea from him. I tried to use his link. I hope I did. Because I clicked on it on my phone and then I ordered from my phone so that they could kind of link it all together. But my phone had to put me in the app from the web. So hopefully all of those things worked out for him. Let's see. Somebody sent me a super something or another. Thank you so much. Is that pronounced faithful? Can you like faithful? Can you help me out there? But thank you for the super sticker. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I had to get it. I had to get it, South Padre. I had to grab one. I've been wanting one for a while, something a little bit bigger. Also, my kids sleep with a fan on. My wife is raising them to be those kind of weirdos. Um, um, I'm talking about our kids sleeping with a fan on. So that we have these little $10 Walmart fans that pretty much run all night. So if I could run it from a power station, I would, because I have this one. Maybe I will, you know. I don't like the idea of just running a fan for ambient noise because that's wasting electricity. I feel like we could get like a USB-C powered sound machine and give them some ambient noise, but I haven't made a big deal of it or anything like that because it's not really a big deal. But I like the idea that I have a fan that I could run off of DC with that male-to-male cable. I think that that's dope. All right, let's get caught up here. What did Jasonoid say? You're going to need quite a bit of gas to run a generator for a long time. The power station can run stuff without having to use gas. Okay, so he's talking about your question, Auntie Blessings. Yeah, it's like the inherent differences between a generator and a power station are what they are. But just in terms of being able to use it, I don't know that you would use it any differently. Now, some people talk about running an inverter generator or a gas generator at like half load and quarter load and 75% and all that jazz. So that's something to be mindful of. I can't give any advice on them because I don't like gas devices at all. What's up, Lee? Lee LaPresti. What's happening, man? I got the Blue Yeti AC200P. Any advice for using it or what it would be good for? Man, you got a beast. That's for sure. You definitely got a beast. The AC200P, the one thing about it is if you're going to use solar with it, it has a threshold of like 35 volts or something like that, which is one of those bigger power stations where the volts on your panels, if you watch my last 2 videos, especially the last one, the volts on your panels doesn't necessarily matter because I think that thing goes up to like 145 or something like that. So you could get like a crazy, not big because the size doesn't really vary a whole lot, but you can get a crazy big, like 72-volt house panel if someone in your area is selling them used, and you could put that one panel on that AC200P. I think the AC200P is super capable. It can pretty much run almost everything in your house with the exception of anything that uses 240. So you could probably run your washing machine off of that. You could run, it can run anything outside of maybe like your oven, and you wouldn't want to do that. Running heat off of a power station is not a good use of that power. But if you have to do it, then you have to do it. It's just going to burn through it super fast. I would use it. So what would I use that for? I would use it to run like things like, I love running my entertainment off of solar. I just think that that's such a novel idea. So I'll run my internet off of it for sure, because internet is such an important aspect of our lives. So to have power not be able to interrupt your connectivity, I think is dope. Internet typically uses less than like 50 watts, so you could run that for days. I think. Don't give me the mathing around here. I would run my TV off of it. I have a couple TCL TVs that have the ability to change the settings in such a way that they use very minimal power. This you can't see it. It's a little bit out of the shot. I have a TCL 32-inch that I got off of the marketplace for $50. I'll be out here beast moding on the marketplace. I got it for $50, I believe. It has a built-in Roku, so that you're saving power there. It uses as little as 15 watts, depending on how you set the brightness and if you set on low power mode. My 50-inch TCL Series 3, I believe, uses about 35 watts on the power setting that I have on it now. It can go as high as 80. I think it can also go as low as like 20 or 15 if you set it like really dark. But we have it kind of at the darker setting. It goes like darkest, darker, normal, light, and lightest, or bright, brighter, or something like that. So that amount of power, I would definitely be using it. I wouldn't let it sit around in a closet and not use it. But I don't know how your home is set up. I don't know if you have kids. I don't know if you want to have an extension cord running. I don't know if you want to have that big old thing sitting in the middle of somewhere or next to something to be able to use it. If you have solar panels, I would definitely be looking to run my refrigerator off of it, because your refrigerator, I have a very simple home setup. My refrigerators are the things that kind of use the most power outside of cooking. So I will want to have that off the grid as well. But I like saving pennies. I like to say they save you pennies, but they my pennies, so I want them. What solar panels work well? Okay, so I talked about that a little bit. Any, for the most part. I mean, watch the solar panel video, because there are connection types and all that stuff you have to navigate. But you could easily throw two 100-watt panels in series and that'll work. But you can't run a 12-volt panel by itself. You have to either get a 24-volt panel, one 24-volt panel, or you need to get two 12-volt panels and put them in series. I have videos on how to connect panels in series and parallel. I say this all the time. You can pay, with regard to a 100-watt panel, you can pay $114 now for Renogy to give you like 80 to 90 watts, or you could pay like $90 or 89 or 86 for an HQST panel to give you, 70 to 90 watts or whatever it is. They all work relatively well. I wouldn't want to get portable power stations with a system so big, because do you expect that system to be portable? I don't know what your situation is. I'm a homeowner. I'm a home dweller. I don't be running around in the woods or at campgrounds or anything like that. That's not my thing. I love outside from inside. So I don't know what your situation is, but panels, rigid panels. I like having my panels outside. You can get you some portable panels. Portable panels are going to be more expensive though. So, if you want to air it out a little bit more, you can message me on Facebook or Instagram or Telegram, all under Ask God Solar, or you can email me at solarquestions@askive.com. The email address is in my about page on my solar page. So if you go to Ask God Solar and then you go all the way to the right or whatever, you go to about, my email address is in there. Oh, okay, I got that. Glad you liked the video. Love that fan. Yeah, man, I enjoyed that video. I'm going to do a video at some point on my favorite things to run off of solar. So it's not necessarily limited to like gadgets and stuff like that. Like my laptop and my monitor is running off power that I got from the sun. I love doing that. I love running my TV off of solar. I love running lamps off of solar, stuff like that. So I'm going to do a video about that soonish. I make no promises. I have 2 rechargeable fans. Interesting. I'm not a big fan of like the batteries. I don't think I would ever put batteries in this fan. Now, here's an interesting thing about this fan, y'all. This is pretty cool. Where's my cable at? Is that it? Is that it? Is this him? Is this the illest ninja in Nebraska? Is you about it, fool? I have this cable put up against my face. This is a USB C to 5521. I'm gonna test soon. I'm not gonna necessarily do it with this. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to use my little USB-C cables that have the volt showing on it, and I'm gonna I have this little adapter. This is a USB-C to 5521. I'm going to use that in this fan to see what kind of voltage it uses. So that way, even if a power station doesn't have 5521, I can still use the USB-C cable to plug directly into here to give it 5525. So I'm kind of interested in testing that. That will probably be a video that I will put on a Patreon. Let's have a quick deviation about the Patreon, because the Patreon is an ever evolving kind of thing. I just got it off of the ground. I don't expect necessarily many people to jump at the opportunity to do the Patreon thing because it's a monthly membership. I know that is weird. It's a very like nominal dollar amount, but it's monthly. It's weird. I get it. But I do acknowledge that there are some people who will want to support. Maybe they don't exist necessarily in the now, even though there are some of them who do. So I've been thinking about this idea. I don't even necessarily desire to have everything be behind the paywall. Like you can make public posts on Patreon. I've been thinking about this idea of having my community tab kind of moving over to Patreon, because YouTube treats community posts, they are governed by their algorithm. Or maybe I have them in a duality. So I kind of want to train you guys. This is my idea. Hey, mama. you interested? You want to come over? I'm kind of interested in training you guys or getting you in the habit of going over to the Patreon to see what's going on, instead of kind of maybe having a community post tab pop into your feed. Maybe. But if I made a video about this little fan, about me testing the USB-C to USB-C with the 5521 adapter and seeing how many volts it charges, that's not necessarily a super beneficial video to the public. It's definitely not necessarily a super beneficial video in my niche, because my niche is about solar panels and power stations. It fits, but it may not necessarily get the views. So I will probably put a video like that on Patreon. And even if I did put it behind the paywall of Patreon, at some point, I'm pretty sure I would make it public, or I would probably share it in such a way where people who weren't paying could watch it too. Because my desire is not necessarily to hide videos away from you. The idea behind Patreon is to be able to have people who want to support the community or to support the creator. And because they're supporting the creator, they get certain benefits. And it's like, if y'all get it, like, for example, on Patreon, I posted the solar panel for beginners video early. Now, again, I'm just starting with Patreon. People don't go over there really. So I sent the link directly to people. Hey, guys, can y'all be quiet, please? Don't be so loud. So I sent the link directly to a few people that I talk with on a regular, like, hey, this is an early preview of the Patreon video that I put out early. So that's kind of how it would work. And some, I'm figuring it all out. Let me go down all the way down to the newest comments, because I've been running my track for a little bit. Melissa who has the two AC 200Ps, which is great, by the way. I dig it. I have my little quirks about the AC 200P, but that's because I'm nitpicky. But it's a really nice, really capable device. One of my AC 200Ps is concealed in a TV stand that has glass fronts. Use it for internet, TV, lamps, laptop, and other smaller items. My EcoFlow I use for my greenhouse. That's what's up. Other is sitting. Really? Oh man. That offends something in me, Melissa. It offends something in me. What's up, Farmer Marshall? He has a question for you, Melissa. Let's see. I'm pretty sure this is Wayne. Oh, okay. Wayne got his nice. That's what's up. We gotta chat about that, Wayne. I want to get your impressions. If I can, I would get the EcoFlow Delta Max. Okay. I don't like that I feel like the EcoFlow Delta Max dips. That 300 watts of solar input is not my type of hype. Don't quote me on that because I don't pay very close attention to the EcoFlow Delta series. I need to pay better attention. Which brings up another thing. I want to do a live with Ria's Ham Radio Shack, I believe. But she's into like power stations. She's really a fan of the EcoFlow series. So I kind of want to have a joint live with her on this platform where we can both kind of kick it and hang out with you guys and answer some questions. She has some type of electrical background, so she may be able to talk about safety and so on and so forth. So I think it's just going to be a cool situation. So grow lights. I'm looking to get a small heater. I have a couple small heaters, but I don't understand if they will be effective. I guess a greenhouse is not that big. Somebody was talking to me about, I forget her name, was talking to me about heat. And heat is really tough on portable power stations because it uses a lot. But I have one 200 watt heater. I have a 400 watt heater. And then all my other heaters are normal. They use 750 watts or they use 1500 watts. I bought those two smaller ones because I just like the fact that they put out less power. I take care of my boys at night and we're in the bathroom, and having those bigger heaters in there, they take up a lot of space, and I'm not a real fan of that. And any chance I get to use something that uses less power, I see that as power saved and money coming back in my pocket. You all right, buddy? Jeez. Why are you shaking your head?
That's annoying sometimes.
With my heater stuff?
All your save electricity stuff.
My wife doesn't support me, basically, is what she's saying. She's a hater. No, she's very accommodating, even in her frustration, or her annoyance, I should say. Thank you, baby. The bougie homesteader. I might be the odd one out, but it's nice to hear your kids in the background. Yeah, a lot of people.
I think it's normal too. Like, I mean, we get family. Thank you, homestead, urban.
Bougie. Homesteader.
I almost said ghetto.
My gosh. Leela Presti is saying 12 to 14 gauge wire is best. I agree. 10 is a bit overdoing it, but I don't mind overdoing it because I just like to future-proof myself. I can. A lot of, I'm going to make a generalization here. I'm not above generalizations, but a lot of women typically don't mind kids, especially well-behaved kids. And even guys don't mind well-behaved kids. So, yeah, I get it. Guys. guys. Joe, what's happening? Normal life. Your wife will thank you when the power is out for a week. Too funny. Yeah, we'll see. She's into it. She had a moment where she was kind of upset. Would you say you were upset? Like our neighbors, we have a whole situation with our neighbors and parking in front of our house. My wife is a big stickler for not having people park in front of the house.
So we got all these kids.
Even before we had the kids, y'all. Yeah, she was a stickler about it.
So it's worse now.
It's elevated. It's elevated. And
when the electricity went out.
The electricity went out, and we had like lights because I had a lamp plugged up. We weren't doing much. We weren't even watching TV. We were just kind of chilling in the family room, just hanging out. And she went and she opened our blinds, right, so that our neighbors could see that we had power. She's petty. She's petty.
I needed to flex on them.
Petty Murphy. I get it. But I don't want people to know I have power. So I closed the blinds and I'm looking like, why are our blinds open? And she was like, yeah, I opened the blinds. I found out about it on a Facebook post. It's like, man, you wild. And make sure you turn that volume down, Ivan. Okay? Ivan, you got to turn the volume down, buddy. If you got to mute it, that's what you're going to have to do, whether you like it or not. All right. I don't know what I was talking about. I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. It's funny showing off. Yeah. And till it get real, then you don't want nobody to know. I'm a big fan of, I'm not a hardliner, but I'm a big fan of OPSEC, operational security. I don't want people to know what I got going on. I mean, I have very neighborly relationships with my neighbors, so they kind of know what's up. But yeah. I'm low key like that. There was an era where people would walk around with like their cell phones on their hips, and I'm into cell phones. I could never. That just felt so gaudy to me to have not on your hip, but to have your shirt tucked in so that your cell phone would show. I just felt like you're doing too much. So I'm not that guy. OPSEC, right, Joe? Tell them to watch and like your video so they can have likes. I think my neighbor has a generator that they don't use. My neighbor's very like mechanical too, so it's a benefit. Let me scroll on up. What's up, hey Gilbert? Hey Gilbert, what's happening with the device? Did you get it? I know you said, life has been kind of. I think you did update me on it. You did update me. Scratch that. Don't worry about it. Do you have solar generators in the children's room? My son wants one. He has a TV, laptop, 2 game systems, and lamp. Thoughts? I remember Led did a video about blocking the outlets, and I find more and more there's some validity to that. I wasn't necessarily there, but you talking about having power stations in the kids' room. I mean, my daughter, she loves pressing the buttons on them. So I kind of think about that. As long as she doesn't have anything in her hands, it's fine. But I think about putting covers in those AC outlets, and I think about stopping her from playing with the buttons. But I don't mind it. The only reason, my router is in my kids' room because I used to do my lives on the back porch, and I haven't brought it downstairs yet. And I like putting power stations up there to run my internet, but I like my power stations to be quiet. So that's slowly becoming something that I really value about power stations, is the fact that their fans don't run under a certain load. But I don't know. I'm not. They don't mess with outlets and stuff like that, and we have outlet plugs and caps and all that. So if it really came down to it, and I was concerned, I would just put those caps in them, and then tell them not to touch them. And they watch videos about the dangers of electricity. We talk to them about it in various times and all that jazz. The ETC lifestyle. What's happening? Thanks again. Took my Agwe on an 8-hour road trip. So the ETC lifestyle won the Agwe portable power station. I took my Agwe on an 8-hour road trip this weekend because my cell phone battery went dead and needed life support in order to use GPS. That's interesting. That's what's up. I like that little Agwe, man. It has its quirks. But that battery capacity on it is nice. And the fan doesn't run loud until it hits a certain threshold. So it was a quiet one. It was tough to part with it, but I had some things I didn't like about it. So it made it hard to keep it and manage it. So I'm glad you know what I mean? Hey, I don't want her to have that controller, babe. You're gonna have to help JoJo with this game too, possibly. Prepping on the Creek is around here. What's going on, man? I need to go back and watch your Jackery video. I sent you a message on Instagram. Where's hers at? Oh, okay. I have to go back and watch it. It's like, yeah, I need to get to that to see what your thoughts on it. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on it. Prepping on the Creek. Yeah, I like his channel. It's a slower pace, but I like it. I still like it. I got you. Yes, Faithful Harvest is the right way to say it. Thank you for helping me a while back with my concerns about a 25-watt solar panel. That's what's up. That's what's up. Cool. I'm glad I could help. You have a code for Amazon purchases, HUST panels. I don't have a code, but you can use any of my affiliate links and then go do what your shopping as you normally would. And they'll give me some credit for that. We sleep with fans too, weirdos unite. My brother's one of those people. My brother, I think he was a fan of fans, and he also was one of those weirdos who had to listen to the radio at night, and it just a bunch of weirdos. Nice. Yeah, I like that fan. Is that the battery fan? It is. I can is asking about the battery fan. Jeez, what's going on with my throat?
Look, if you want to start asking for help over and over and over again without trying, then I'm going to tell you to go play.
Oh, sheesh. All right. Let's work our way down here. Hey, Linda. Linda Iononi. I'll never forget it. The Honeywell heating bud works great. It keeps you warm, not the room. On low, it's 220 watts, high 340. I love it. That's a good look. I actually came across a black van lifer. I forget what her name is, but I saw her video on the TV, and I just wanted to check out a few moments of it. The title was "A Day in My First Day in the Van." Let me see if I can find it. The video wasn't great. It wasn't great, but I'm trying to find more people of color who are doing van life.
I can't just be like, be quiet.
You could take her in the living room. Thug life. Can I be honest with y'all? Can I?
Of course.
So I've been trying to find people of color doing van life. I don't consider, bear with me. When I'm trying to find people of color who are doing van life, I kind of don't, how should I say this? I don't want to watch, in that regard, an interracial couple. I feel like that's not quite the same. I don't mind, and I'm not against watching interracial couples, but that's not what I'm looking for. Anyway, we're going to leave that there. So, shoot. Yeah, you want to conceal that? Yeah. I'm definitely with that OPSEC. Let's see what we got. Yeah, you don't want, pretty much. Even though I'm pretty much cool with all my neighbors around me in pretty much various directions. And I don't mind it. I think about situations where if something were to happen, I would look out for my neighbors. I would, absolutely. They're gonna be like some people trying to plug stuff into the power stations that they shouldn't, but I would give them a like, yo, this is just for your cell phone, laptop, maybe a little TV, and they will learn quick and fast in a hurry about how limited these things are. Okay, that's that former Marshall. Okay, A. Gilbert, loving it more each day and the savings. Oh, yes. those covers keep the dust and moisture out too. Yeah, that's not my hustle. I don't have to worry about dust or moisture in my situation. But I'm glad, man. I'm glad. A. Gilbert bought one of the devices that was refurbished from Bluetti. I kind of regret not getting one just a little bit. Not really, but I feel like I should have tried to get one just for the culture. But I didn't. Yeah, it's okay. Thank you for that. It's okay to have your preference, especially in this particular situation. Actually, this is one young lady. Her name is Where is Brittany, and she van lives with a guy who doesn't appear to be a person of color. I don't know if he's white or whatever. I don't want to cast a wide net there. Um, and that channel seems okay. The videos are a little not my speed, but it's fine. I checked her out today. I don't have any issues, but when I'm trying to find something specific, it's like the interracial couples, they kind of don't do it for me. I get it, and thank you. Why tell her? I've never seen that name before, at least not in a long time. Welcome. A spoonful of organic honey will soothe your throat. Yeah, I got some. I think we have organic honey, right, babe? Yeah, that's man. As soon as I. Oh, okay, my wife is saying it's raw and unfiltered. It may not be organic. I'm pretty sure it's organic. You went to the point to get raw and unfiltered. It's probably organic. When I first felt my throat get itchy, when I caught the cold from my family, I hit that honey up quick. I hit elderberry up. I ran to the store and got some orange juice because my wife was sick. She doesn't usually get sick, and she was like, it wasn't the worst situation. It wasn't the worst situation, but she was a little sicker than usual. I guess at some point I realized, or it kind of came out, but I didn't want to get sick at the same time. So I was kind of trying to stave off those symptoms so it didn't like knock me on my butt. Because I feel like sometimes I get sick and I get sick. So I had honey, I had elderberry, I went and bought some orange juice, and I went and I got some Zycam to kind of help me deal. Yeah, the ETC lifestyle. She has a schoolie. That's for sure. I watched Brittany. I thought she was a lone van lifer. News to me. That's interesting. It didn't seem like maybe. I saw a video on her on Instagram, and just to keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck. They were at a campsite, and she didn't show. I think she did show her dude on camera, and she was just kind of describing the area, and she was like pointing the camera towards him, right? And she said, she was like, we got the pond, and she pointed the camera towards him because he was over at a tree. And she said, we got the N word with a hard R going on. And I was like, wait, what? So I thought she was calling her dude the N word. And not just the N word, but the N word with a hard R. And I was just like, what? So I no lie, y'all. I listened to this video like 6 to 7 or 8 times to understand the context by which she was using that. And I was just like, because some black people could be a little off the chain with stuff like that. Like they allow their white friends to use it and it's cool and all that jazz. It's not a lot of us out there, but we out there. So I kept listening like, what did she say? And she was describing that they found a tree that had the N word in it, and it was with the hard R, the hard ER. And she was just like, she wasn't blown by it, I imagine, because, we used to encountering stuff like that. But anyway, so it had me looking like, man, I don't, but she be chilling. She seemed cool. Her dude seems cool. I commented on the last video that I watched. I wish them the best of luck and all that jazz in these YouTube streets. Adventure Bandits and Peggy and Dan on my faves. I get that. They're not my speed though. I check them out from time to time since I made that post. but I need them to get that editing together. Takesha, I am brand new to solar powered energy, but I'm desperately trying to learn how to power my major equipment with solar energy, like a well or a fridge. That is tough. That's a nice picture of you and your husband. That's tough because they use a lot of power. I'm in the simple solar business. Uh, simple solar doesn't provide a whole lot of power. You would almost have to get like a super beastie system, or you would have to build your own. And building your own is possible. Spending a whole lot of guap on the power station is possible. You can't play with that, mama. That EcoFlow Delta Pro, that EcoFlow Delta Max, they're all expandable to a certain capacity. And Delta Pro is the most expandable, but you can get up to like 10 kilowatts out of those systems. And that should be enough. Now, to run some larger appliances, you need these like adapters that these power stations come with, which can essentially like turn their 110 or their 120 into 240 so that you can run larger appliances and all that jazz. We're not going to have that, mama. Not the beeping. Not the beeping. No, ma'am. Where's she at? Nope. Nope. Come on. Come on. Over yonder. Oh, watch your head. You want to come up? She just want to touch my stuff. That's all she want to do. So, I guess I'm still kind of dealing with that. Let's put it back up. Your major appliances are going to use a lot of power. If you're willing to spend as much money as you'll need to spend on it, then you can get it done for sure. That's not my area of expertise, but it could work. I feel like reach out to me. We could, as long as time permits, I could try and work through it with you. But sometimes them coins, you come to realize how much coins is gonna cost, and people be like, I don't know. Now, if you're gonna be on the grid, then I don't know if it's worth it to go that big. You kind of want to get something to just sustain your core necessities. No, mama. If you're gonna be off the grid, then spending money on a system like that will save you money eventually. So just depends on what you want to do. Hey, stop it! You're gonna get your finger plucked. All right. Yeah, but they talk about how the Omarion is it still has that sick, that like you feel sore and all that jazz. And none of us had anything like that. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we were just regular old sick. Babe, I'm unable to manage her with all of this stuff I have going on over here. Go. If I didn't have all of these wires, I'd do okay, but there's a ton of them around here. Hey, Cat Eyes, good to see you. Happy New Year to you and the family. I have a question about the solar. I have the 100 watts, and it has a connection that has a charger inside on the back. It is that you got to give me that one more time, Cat Eyes. I'm not sure I follow that. I kind of follow it, but I want to make sure I completely follow it. Try moringa with honey and lemon. I do ginger and garlic tea. I buy it from the fresh market. Awesome stuff. That's what's up, man. My wife is getting into all of that stuff. Oh dang, maybe I have the wrong Brittany. There's a Where is Tiffany? Another van life person, and then Where is Brittany is a different one. Obviously, Brittany and Tiffany. Her hubby is on periodically. He's Caucasian. He's white. Like Gilbert. You're welcome. Keisha? Oh shoot, and that went far. You can get 12-volt well pumps, but they are not cheap, which is typically always better to buy stuff that is more efficient than it is to power stuff that's less efficient.
Doing a race right now. Do not follow me.
That's a fair point, Ivan. Leave him alone. Let him drive, buddy. Ingidi, what's happening, man? Good to see you. I'm torn between the EcoFlow and the Bruetti for my major power source. Would need to keep deep freezer going in the power outage situation. Now, we've had our deep freezer for a long time. I haven't seen MJ in a while. I think about her quite often. I hope she's doing okay. We have an older deep freezer, and it's also a kind of big deep freezer. But some of these smaller deep freezers don't use a lot of power. But my EcoFlow or my ED70 don't power my deep freezer. But you didn't say EcoFlow River or Bruetti EB70. You just said the brand. So I don't know. Kind of, I don't think it matters. All you need now is a small dog barking in the background. I know, right? Have it all covered. We used to have a dog. We got rid of him when we had kids.
I know.
I had the leprechaun. Oh man, that's great, Angity. That's great. Jackery. That whole sentence, Cat Eyes, was kind of interesting to me. I didn't follow what you meant about the panel. It sounds like you're saying you have a panel with a charge controller on it. That's what it seems like you're saying, but I didn't follow. Could it have been allergies for all of you? We don't have allergies. We're not weak. Thoughts that come out of my head. No, we don't have allergies though. None of my kids have allergies, and we don't. My wife or I don't have allergies. Black seed oil. I've heard that as well. My wife has been talking to people who are into that, and they're kind of enlightening her. Jackery, have it in the back of it, so I can plug my eye without the jackery. Oh, okay. I was actually talking with Auntie Blessings about this. In my video, I talked about connecting stuff directly to solar panels. Because I'm a rigid panel guy by default, y'all have to forgive me. I sometimes think in those terms. I hope that, hey, I need y'all to quiet down. Because I have a rigid panel state of mind, when I talked about connecting things directly to a panel, what I meant was, and I kind of mentioned it, was stripping wires and connecting DC devices directly to solar panels. But you have some solar panels that have built-in ports like USB-A, USB-C, 5521, things like that. You can hook stuff directly into that, no problem. So that gives me some insight. So let me look at your question again. Did that answer that for you, Cat Eyes? I'm not sure. Solar, I have the 100 watts and I have a connection that has the charge on the inside. This is a good one. It's fine. You can use it. That's perfect. I'm out of water anyway. How long has this been going? 1 hour and 14 minutes. We'll wrap this up soon. I survived through that Rona due to all the herbs I take. Doing better, back to work. That's what's up. I plan on building an off-grid home around 13 kilowatts, and I want to buy the proper tools. I need a list to buy. Mess with go to Will Prouse's site. He has all of his recommendations for building everything you could possibly want to build. He has them in kits. He has recommendations for each particular thing. I think it's mobile-solarpower.com, but go to his YouTube page. He has this listed. or go to one of his recent videos. I'm almost certain it's in the links. Okay, you're talking to KJ. It's nasty, but it's good. Yeah, I bet. Yes, I can connect stuff into my Blue Eddy while it's plugged into the solar panel. Yes. What you talking about, Wayne? Oh yeah, that's fine. I got a little bit of a cold. Wayne's asking me how I'm doing. That's fine. Cool. Cat Eyes says that answers her question, and thank you. Jason, what's happening? Question: I have 400 watts on a 30 amp PWM controller. Can I add 100 watts with another? I'm reading this now, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to answer you. Can I add 100 watts with another 10 amp controller to the same battery bank? I have two Renogy Gel 100 amp hour batteries, and my panels are for 100. My understanding, Jason, is that as long as you have the two, I wish Bean Energy was around. As long as you have the two different charge controllers going into the battery, you should be able to do it. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but I'm kind of spitballing based on a video I think Will Prouse made. So you should be able to go to Will Prouse's channel and see if he has a video on using two charge controllers on one battery, or you can go to the internet or the YouTubes and search for that and get you a more appropriate answer, because that's not my area of expertise. So Joe Trot is saying, yes, Jason, you can do that. So put Joe Trot on the hook for that. All right. What do we have here? Oh, so I tested the Bestek inverter, guys, and I wasn't really it's a means to an end, but I wasn't really impressed with the way the fan sounds. This is the Bestek pure sine wave inverter. I bought it because one, I was curious. Two, I can use it to add AC to a power station that does not have the ability to pass through to AC. And the other thing is I wanted to see what the efficiency would be of using this compared to the internal power station's AC inverter. Also, there's something in here shaking. I'm not a fan of that, but I don't think that matters. The fan sounds rough, and it's not the worst sound. At first, I was impressed because it was relatively quiet, but I ran it for about 13 minutes. I just used it to power this monitor at 13 watts. It was using something like 30. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably not as efficient. But when that fan kicked on, I was like, ugh. And it pretty much sound how one of these things sound when the fan comes on. That fan comes on and it's really like rough, and it wasn't a good look. I don't like the fans on my power stations, but they are, even if they are loud, they are kind of smooth. So I wanted to give you guys a quick update on that right there. Okay. Yeah, I love watching his videos, Will Prouse. So no questions from the one thing that I did want to clear up, I clear up already because of Cat Eyes' comment. I was talking with Auntie Blessings about that. I need to put a comment in the video or a note in the video description about that. So no questions related to the solar power for beginners video. I am interested, Takesha, if you're still around, like which route you're wanting to go and why. So I definitely will be interested in hearing from you regarding that if you wanted to chat about it. I had something else I wanted to tell y'all about. These are my pale blue batteries. They still owe me a set of AAAs. I just haven't had the time to email them. I talked to y'all. I made a post about this light right here that is not yellow but blue. I love this little thing, 5 watts. This is another example of, shoot, it's all tangled in because I put it in this freaking storage bin. This is another example of what I wanted to do because I like to have options as it relates to my power usage. This uses 5 watts. I bought like a couple different types of light bulbs, not a whole lot. I'm currently testing out 100-watt light bulbs. They use about like 10 to 12 watts. They're actually rated to use a little bit higher, but I find that most light bulbs don't use as much power as they're rated on. I think when they rate those light bulbs, they have to rate them for how much power they use at the highest capacity. So that could be even when they first turn on, or maybe they're under some temperatures, they have to get warmer, hotter to get, I don't know, whatever. But I've been finding myself wanting to do like a range where I could have like a 100-watt equivalent light bulb, a 60-watt equivalent light bulb. And I even wanted to try out some like really, really low wattage bulbs. But I think I don't have to do that now because I have this one and this one runs off of DC. So even if I got like a 5 or 8-watt light bulb, it would still use more than this and probably put out similar light. So I like to have options because, you know, if the power goes out, I'm not going to plug in a 100-watt light bulb. I mean, I might because we may need the light. But during the night, my wife likes to have light downstairs. So instead of using an AC powered light bulb, I'll either use the light from a power station. I'll just turn a power station lamp on that stays on all night. Not all of them do. I don't think the Energizer does. That kind of bothered me. And I don't think the Go Labs does, which they're pretty much the same device if you ask me. They have differences in features, but they beat the same. The screen looks the same and all that jazz. So I'll use my little light bulb or I'll use a power station, and I love that. Love it. I could even power it off of my little power banks. This is one of my older ones that I'm glad I kept around. It's not charged. I need to charge it up. But I have like 6 of these. The downside is this Anker one doesn't work with any of my lights. It doesn't work with my little candle style USB lights. It doesn't work with my Sure Enough. I gotta find my little, I like to call them candle equivalents, but I have these. It doesn't work with this, I don't think. Nothing. You can see that the light is on. Nothing. But if I take and plug it into, does this little Anker have power? This is my old one, right? I plug it into this one, instant. So that's weird that they don't work. That annoys me, but you know, who cares? That's why I keep all my stuff. See what y'all snapping and trapping about. Okay, why I tell her saying, yeah, black seed oil is the truth. Is Big Blue coming with more power? I just want Big Blue to come with an AC inverter that works at the same time. If they did, man, that would be my favorite power station. The Dip is like low-key kind of my favorite power station. It's like the EcoFlow if EcoFlow had LiFo, but it doesn't have pass-through charging on the AC. That sucks. But I like that little device, man. They got a lot of things right. I hope so. They have a group on Facebook, like it's like a development group or something like that. I thought about joining it, but I ain't pressed. I don't have anything at all yet. I don't know where to even begin. Does your power go out a lot, Takesha? I tried that. Joe Try says double click it. You press and hold on this one. Let's see if this is going to make a liar out of me. I actually did it just now. The button even turns green if I hold it. Is it double tap? It is double tap. No, I think you hold it. Yeah, you hold it. And you can see that little green bit. Let's plug it in. See if Joe Trot's going to make a liar out of me. Yeah, nothing. See that the light is on. Let's press and hold it to go green. Did it go green? It did. Still nothing. I tried, man. I tried. I gave it a good college try. Nothing. It's okay. They serve a different purpose, and that's fine with me. What do you think of nature's generators for beginners? Also, what brand is that light bulb? I don't know, but I have a community post. Actually, let me just go ahead and get the dip so I can drop it in and see what it's hitting for. I'm not impressed with the nature's generator. Personally, I don't know what kind of battery chemistry is in there. I think it's something weird. You cannot play with that, mama. Okay, let's do a couple things here. This is the fan. I also got the blanket that Jasonoid recommended because I want to try out these wool blankets. I hear people talk about wool blankets all the time, and I don't think I have one. No, mama. Go, please. Hey, no. Here is the light bulb. It's made by, shoot, VT Power? I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's relevant. Maybe not. Let's see. How does that work? It does nothing. Those are the light bulbs. That is an affiliate link. So if you click on it and buy something, I might get like 3 cents. Huh? I got a super chat earlier, like a super sticker. A super chat. Yeah, it's like, I can't. Super chats are like, they're really nice, super dope, but YouTube grabbing that 30% sucks. So, yeah, I don't know. Super chats are welcome, y'all. Super, I don't think I have super thanks yet. I need like, it highlights your comment. So it puts your comment out in front. And it's also a way to thank the creator and ask a question, get your question answered. Super stickers are for that. You just send like a sticker.
You get money with it?
Yeah. That's why it's a super.
That's what I should have said. I remember I sent you $20. He's like, hey,
Right.
YouTube's gonna take
Yeah, why would you do that? I know, I appreciate where your heart was,
yeah.
but they certainly took 30 of it. Clowns.
That was stupid.
I think what I want to start doing is because I feel like you could send cash apps and you could put messages in them. So people, I think what I'm gonna start encouraging, is if you have a question and you want YouTube to not get 30% of it, you can send it to me in Cash App, and I'll have the Cash App open and all that jazz. All right. You're welcome, VM, JM. What's up, Robert? I've checked out these a 2-piece USB LED light bulb only. Blah 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 blah. I do have Cash App, VM, JM. It's under askivesolar. One word, I believe. It might. I think it's in the description of this video. Actually, I think I put it in. Now, South Padre, I think you recommended some lights before, and those lights had the variable. It's on the Kelvin scale, but they call it something else. The variable temperatures. I just don't know if I'm gonna buy some more. That's kind of my thing. But I like the idea of being able to change the temperature. Because as much as I don't like that warm light, I got some light bulbs off of the marketplace. They were like free light bulbs that our local program gives you. But they had like a box full of them, and they were getting rid of them for $5. And I wanted to grab them because they had various watt levels. One was 15, one was 8. Or 9 or something like that, and then they had some that was 5. So I feel like 5. I got 5. I spent $5. I got like a good 15 light bulbs, and they were all warm, which is yellow. The cool is it gets more blue. So I was like, dang it. But I was going to use them because they had that. I was looking for, as I said earlier, I was looking for variable light power draws because I want to be able to have lamps that produce light, but they don't. I want to have options. I like having options. I actually just got this lamp. This lamp is one of those dual head ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bright one, a 100 watt in here. And then I'll probably put like a 60 or 40 watt equivalent in here. So that I could have an option when I want to just have a little bit of light. That was my plan, right? But then I got the little 5 watt dip. So the 5 watt dip kind of rules it all. But I'm still going to mess around with that one with different light bulb scenarios. Maybe I'll have a warm light in the lower one and a cool light in the higher one for the super bright. And then I'll just kind of like use it as is necessary. I've been using my other lamp a lot because it sits like right here in my in between my den and the kitchen. And that 100 watt light bulb uses about 12 to 13 watts. Sometimes it's as low as 8 or 11, but I think that's per power station and the power station not getting it right. And I've been using that a lot, and it provides a nice bit of light so my wife doesn't come into the kitchen and turn the light on. That's another reason why I wanted to get brighter lights, because I don't want her to have a not so bright lamp on and then still turn the kitchen light on like the crazy woman that she can be sometimes. So I'm going brighter. Yeah, I don't want to keep calling you a weirdo, but yeah, that's a fair point. I wanted to diversify my adjectives. They're not insults. I'm a weirdo too, straight up. I have PayPal too, Siobhan. It's all in the description. All 5 or 6 options. I have Zelle, I have PayPal, I have Venmo, I have CashApp, and I think that's it. What you mean?
I'm not the one behind you making sure you got all those.
I guess. But you said like you set them up or something. I guess.
No, I ain't set 'em up.
Thanks to you. Like she's my admin administrator. Yeah, I'm my administrative assistant or something. What you laughing at? Huh? Yeah. What? You trying to come over? She just want to play on my computer.
Is that what you were trying to do?
Yeah, she want to touch my stuff. What up, though?
So, how do you like get into the typing area?
2%. Let's talk 2%.
So, how do you get into the
2%. I told you. I'm not even gonna get into it. 2% say hey. 99 Fab. What's up, brother? Long time. Yeah, man. I was thinking about going to your channel again. I've been to your channel kind of early on, and you guys coming over. I'm still I think I'm still blocked by lead. I emailed them early January. I haven't heard anything back, and I thought about resending the email because I know he gets a lot of emails, but I was just like, you know what, I'm blocked. Yeah, it's okay. Do not tape the light switches. What does that mean? Do not tape the light switches. I never heard the end of it from the fam. That's hardcore. That's hardcore. I just try to play it in such a way where they don't need to turn the light on. It's like subconscious. It's like, we got enough light. Don't turn the lights on. It's all running off the sun. He said, wait, I got an alibi. I did not get the solar panel after you told me what to get. Were you talking about the 13 watt dip? Oh yeah. They are 4 watts and dimmable. Yeah, there's some that are dimmable, and there's some that are that you can change the temperature. But I don't know that I'm that pressed. I also don't necessarily like the light bulbs themselves because you have to hang them on something, and I don't necessarily have stuff to hang on. I have you can't see it, but there's a chandelier right here in this room, and I typically just hang it off of that. It feels janky though, so I'm not a big fan of that. I'm Who was telling me about it? I don't know if it was Delgada or somebody was telling me about the solar rechargeable dips, but I hate buying devices that are rechargeable that don't have replaceable batteries. That just feels like throwing money away. Because once that battery dies, and it will die, then you got to throw the whole device away. That's not necessary. I'm not a tree hugger or anything, but that's not necessarily good for the planet. Um, and I'm financially, I want to be able to just replace that battery and keep the party going instead of having to buy a whole new light. So that's kind of how I'm built with it. So if I could find some solar, not even solar rechargeable, because that's kind of weird too. I mean, I have solar panels outside. I don't want to be taking out light bulbs outside to get them charged up. That's just another thing I got to manage. It's another thing I got to pull inside. I have rigid panels, so I don't have to keep going outside to pull stuff in. So I just want something that can take some rechargeable batteries. That's what I'm gonna look into next. I'm looking into light bulbs that can take rechargeable batteries. And it's like, if I could get some of those that hang from something without the wire hanging off of them, then I'd probably be into that. But I don't want the ones with the non-replaceable rechargeable batteries. Hey, that's a good rant for you. That's a good rant. Joe tried. Joe said, sounds like we should send the money to her, you, for putting up with the solar foibles. I mean, you know, mi casa, su casa, right? Thanks, 2%. Let's see. Joe says, I am too. I don't think his skin is thick enough to deal with even possible criticism or contradiction. And he doesn't like people answering questions he won't. Oh, interesting. He's talking about lead. Hey, man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think that Led is one of those people. He's actually talked about it, and in some ways, he's been very spot on, because people, they don't have good bedside manner in these comments, man. I feel like you guys are a wonderful crew. It helps a lot because I turn on subs only, so it's like people who are really committed to the content. You guys, a lot of you guys are from Lead Farmers community, so you're already used to live streams and kind of like chilling, basically, because you have people who can come off extremely rude and all that jazz. We don't have to deal with that as much in this community because I turn on that subs only option, and I turn it on for that reason. One, I don't want to have to manage people coming in here copy and pasting stuff like idiots. But some people come at you hostile, and it is what it is. And I feel like he has a very low tolerance for that. So in theory, I did not, but I did. My idea is that I either, because on one of his videos, he had like a 4-hour video, and there was a segment in there where he was talking about getting products. And all I did was offer an explanation as to why people may be questioning his intentions with offering up the products. Because at one point in time, before he started to receive the products, he would make these declarations that, you know, I bought all of this stuff myself. I paid for it out of my pocket. And I think when he switched, this is what I said in the comment. I said, it probably would have been a good idea to just let people know, like, hey, yeah, I know I said that, but I have these opportunities to get these devices and share them with y'all and so on and so forth. So I don't think that there was a transition over to that. And I think with him being extremely definitive, because y'all know he's talked about how he's had to switch things because people have enlightened him and so on and so forth, and all that jazz. I think because he didn't have a transition, and because his community is so huge, and there are certain people who have different temperaments and they're adversarial or whatever. I'm not saying it's always that, I just think that makes his trigger finger a little, a little. What do they say? It's on a, yeah, quick is fine. So I wonder if me saying that is what caused him to be like, okay, you're not welcome in this community anymore. That's the only thing I can see that would have caused it. But
still, if that is the case, then that's petty.
I don't want to get into like assessing anybody's behavior, especially not publicly. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, it is what it is. I'm not vested enough to have opinions about how people conduct themselves in life or on the internet. You know, he's just like, oh man. Harbor had. Let me wait. Hold on. Before let me come back to that. Bruce, give me 1 second. Let me see what the new folks is talking about, because I want to stay on that subject. There are bulbs that can charge in a lamp and turns on when the power goes out. It also has the cap screw on the bulb to take it anywhere without the wires. I purchased a pack of 5. That is very interesting, but I also don't want power from. I want the power to come from solar. But that's nice. I like that. That's pretty cool. But I'm not gonna go that route, because then that's AC to DC, right? Because batteries are DC. So not only is the power coming from solar, but then it's gonna come from solar to an AC inverter, which there's some loss there, and then that lamp is gonna charge that dip. I'm talking about in my situation, because I wouldn't plug the lamp into the wall to charge it. I would charge it off of solar, but then I feel like I might as well try and figure out a battery power solution so that I can just charge it via USB or use one of these mini rechargeable batteries I have around here to pop it into that light bulb and then use it that way. But I do like the idea that the light bulb will work after the electricity goes out because it charges from the AC. Anyway, I don't want to over elaborate on that. Oh, Cat Eye said she is not in the crew. I dig it. I ain't mad. You know what I mean? It's like people, and you know, I get it. I get it 100%. I definitely watched some of that stuff that went on between him and Mississippi Girl Life. That was interesting. That was interesting.
That was a mess.
That was interesting.
It was a mess. All of it. All of it.
Oh man, Delgado, I suspect that as well. I suspected that as well. And I don't take it personally. I sent him an email and was like, I think I may be blocked. I was like, I don't know if I said or did something to cause that, but I also know that sometimes you block people inadvertently. So, you know, whichever way it is, it's all good. You know what I mean? It ain't no thing. So it's all good.
But that's the funny thing, real quick.
Okay, my wife is coming over. I am not responsible for what this woman says.
I feel like you better than me, because I wouldn't, because you still watch his content, you still like him, you still think he's cool. You know what I mean? Like, you can't participate, but you know, it's like you're still present. And I wouldn't be. I'd be trying to figure out how to get to him. So I just, you know, I don't know. Or if anything, it's like, okay, you cut me off, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was an accident. You're not responding. That's fair. I'm gonna move on. Like, I don't want to listen to you. I don't want to listen to nothing you got to say. He just such a classy guy, and I guess I'm meant to be the opposite.
No, she's not meant to be the opposite. She needs to do better. No, we're not gonna do that. We're not meant to be the opposite. It's like, you can be classy too, fam.
I mean, yeah, I'm just saying, like, you are still like genuinely okay and interested, and like you still, like, I don't want to say care about him, but you still like care about him. You don't have anything negative to say about him, and I'm not saying you should, but if it were me, I would feel some kind of way. Like, hold up, hold up now. You know what I mean? Like,
but it's like you don't know.
I'm a resolver. I like to resolve even the appearance of an issue. You know what I mean? You're real quick to be like, I mean, it is what it is, and you fall back. I'm not falling back. It not just is what it is. Like I'm gonna find out what it really is.
Yeah.
And then we can, go from there.
Oh man.
I'm good, y'all. Promise. I'm
She
actually
is.
more friendly and more of a. Well, it depends.
Yeah, it does.
It
Depends.
I'm good. I'm good
She is.
people, I
She is
promise.
better than me in so many ways.
But when it comes to conflict, like I'm a different kind of person when it comes to conflict. But I appreciate that about you, though. Despite it all, you like I still rock with him. You still listen to his lives, and you still present. I wouldn't be all that.
I mean, but I also watch LED because I enjoy the content, especially around the solar. I mean, I watch and talk about honey and all that jazz, but that's not my.
So does anybody understand what I'm saying? Like, does anybody see like
What?
It's like we had we interacted. You know what I mean? Like you called me bro, we emailed, like you kind of brought me into the community, you shout me out a few times, and you know what I'm saying? Like we was cool, like we was rocking. And now just radio silence. I would have a problem with that. But I'm an extrovert, you know what I mean? So I'm a very people-centric kind of person. Like I gotta be in your face. I want to know what's going on and what the deal is. And I ain't the kind of person who just kind of gets ghost or who's okay with being ghosted.
Yeah.
And I'm not the kind of person who will ghost without saying something and making known like what my thoughts are, you know what I'm saying? And I want that too. Like if I hurt your feelings, if I offend you, if I rub you wrong, like let me know. You know what I mean? Like I'm 41 years old. Like,
There certainly is an ideal way that one, according to my standards, should conduct themselves.
right.
But because I'm not people centric, it's like I don't care.
Yeah, I want you to care a little bit.
It's like I feel like I don't care. I don't care.
You really don't care.
I really do not care. I really don't care. Man, I mean I care so little.
I still like Liz. You need the situation. I still like him. I still like his personality.
Right. Wait, this straight up though Chaser said, guess who is not the introvert? Let's play a game. Who is the introvert? And who is not the introvert? Oh man. Brother Joe Trot agrees with you, baby.
That's not the reckless one.
Huh?
That's not the reckless
Yes. Joe Trot is the reckless one. He is the reckless one. That's for sure. I mean, not on purpose, I don't think. Well, you kind of reckless on purpose, Brother Joe. Darlene Ransom says, I absolutely do. I imagine she is responding to you. Silver Surfer, what's going on? Same here, I don't care. And sometimes drives people crazy.
It does.
It does. It gets on people's nerves, man. When they can't get under your skin, they be upset. Jeez, it's like I don't care. I care in principle. I tell like people I work for and stuff like that. It's like, man, look, I just need to, and I have to explain myself to people because it's like I just need to air it out. Once I air it out, I'm good. And if I need to bring it back to your attention, then when I need to, I'll do that. But other than that, it's been aired out. Like I don't like the way you handled that situation. I went down the way that it went down, and I wasn't a fan. But after that, I moved on. I don't have energy to be invested in like how people.
I got all the energy.
That's why you be upset and all that though. Like it's like I just like you can't occupy that space for me. I don't care enough about.
Upset. I'm passionate.
I'm saying there's the potential for you to be bothered by something.
Yeah.
And there's far less potential for me to be bothered by something.
Yeah, but I feel like being bothered by something is normal. It's like
I guess.
it doesn't like zap my head.
Whoa! Watch your head, mama. It's like you don't really want to be up here. I don't know why you sound. What 2%? Miss Ask you would not get your answer. You would get answers from the beyond first. it's like why expect something from somebody who they are apparently unwilling or incapable of providing. And I'm not even talking about lead. I'm just talking about people in general. It's like, what are we doing here when you expect something from somebody that you know you shouldn't be expecting? It's like that person is showing you how they get down and who they are. So it's like, well, why would I be vested in trying to get something different?
I feel like I sometimes have the responsibility of helping people reach a higher bar.
You gonna pull them up?
Yes.
Like, yeah, you gotta do better, man. You gotta do better, and I'm gonna help you do
this
better.
Is how, you know?
Linda Iannoni says, I can't believe that anyone would take your comments negatively. You're so calm and cool and not that kind of person that would be disrespectful to a friend. I know, right? I know, right? But it's like, it is what it is. It's like, I don't even know if it was maliciously. I tell you this though, I went over and I commented on the LBX channels, the LBX 73. And what is it? I feel like I saw that. I don't know how that stuff works, and this is how I get down. I don't know how it works. I don't know if that's a sub channel of his, so that the block people over here are the block people over here. But I feel like I didn't get any response over there either. I kind of made a similar comment there, and in the sea of the comments, there's a bunch of hearts, recent and past, and my comment is sitting there with no love. No love, no visibility. And you can kind of tell because as reasonable as I am, my comments will resonate with somebody. So you would at least get a few thumbs up and things like that, but no thumbs up, no heart, no nothing. So it makes me feel like I'm blocked. And I was in a chat, and I think Love Notes was in there. And I put an @ to Love Notes because I know Love Notes is at least familiar with me to the point where if she saw me comment, she would respond back to me. And she didn't respond back to me. And I literally commented like seconds after she commented. So that also leads me to believe that I'm blocked. So, and you know.
And I think the interesting thing is you still give him the space to be able to claim it was an accident. I didn't know I had blocked you.
Yeah. Because I'm not one that's into this idea of determining people's motivations. Now, I will say that women typically, my wife specifically, have the ability, y'all should see her with her hand on her hip, have the ability to deduce from a situation, intuition, whatever you want to call it. I'm not really a deducer. I feel like I deal with what you put in front of me. I'm not trying to get at your motivations or what fuels you or anything like that. I'm looking at the data, you know what I mean? And I'm not super data driven like some weirdos be talking about, but I'm not an inferrer in all of that heavily like my wife is. She could possibly look at a situation and be like, nope, they don't want you around no more. They don't like you. That's why they don't plan on giving you no raise. So you should just look for another job. And I'd be like, I don't know. I probably still got a chance. You know what I mean? But it's just what it is.
And I found out a lot of times I'd be right. Because it's not just deducing. Sometimes it is intuition, but it's also discernment. You know,
that's true.
Being able to discern and being able to read between the lines and connect, dots,
Do you feel like I have discernment?
No. I mean, but I say that in a sense. I feel like
no discernment.
I think because you may I feel like naturally because you're filled with the Holy Spirit, but I feel like you have the gift of wisdom. You know what I mean? I feel like your wisdom is what kind of leads you and helps you in a way that discernment can help other people.
See, I feel like I have spiritual discernment when it suits me, like when I need it. Right. You know what I mean? Right. I feel like you have spiritual discernment and then you have this other stuff too. You have like human discernment as well. That's kind of how I feel about it. That's what I'm talking about when I say intuition or deducing or inferring and all that. That's kind of all wrapped into discernment.
No, that's not discernment. But I mean, I see what you're saying. The natural side.
What do you mean? You gonna make me look up discernment?
I mean, there is a
Wait,
natural kind
one
of
second.
discernment.
Joe Trot says reckless. Me? Multiple question marks. Yes.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Reckless. Without wreck. Quite often. Your wife looks like my daughter and acts like her. She's cool. Hey,
Oh,
that's what's
you.
up. Corey K, what's happening? What's happening? Misspelled you. I agree with that too. At some point, you have to move on and not carry a load. That's what's up, man. I have no space for load carrying. I got all the energy. Just straight up notation said I'm done. Oh man, that's too true. I've A equals A. Give them a chance for your wife, but if they don't take it, a feeder line and dump that load. Yeah, I mean, I ain't tripping. 2% say, "Oh yeah, you blocked." 2%. That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, you
The way she said it, that fell out. Discernment, absolutely. Look who you got to marry you. Hey, I'm winning out here in these streets. Anyone else buffering? All my lives are buffering bad. Oh, that sucks. Corey K says, you go wifey. Well, Cat Eyes says, you go wifey. I enjoy these casual conversations so much with you guys. It's such a good time.
me too. I'm trying not to slide in too much.
Hey, it's community building. It's community building. But just real rap. At the end of the day, Led doesn't owe me anything. If he just decided he don't like me because I'm light skinned, I feel like it's within that man's right to say that. Like, I don't want Ad in this community anymore. I feel like he served his purpose, but I have kind of sharpened my skills. I can answer these questions. And, you know what I mean? Blocking somebody is a little bit intense, but it's like, what else can you do? How do you stop somebody? If I didn't want someone's presence in my area because they detracted from what I had to say, even not in a negative way, you know what I mean? It's like Joe Trot said, he may not like people answering questions or spoon feeding people. I don't necessarily see it that way. I like to answer people questions. Sure, there's some things people can go and look it up, but if I know, you can know, you know what I mean? That's just how I am. If he doesn't want that energy or whatever, then what do you do? I feel like I would just say, can you slow up on, at answering the questions? People need to kind of dot, boom, boom, boom. That's how I would handle it. But everybody ain't me. If everybody was me, the world would be a better place and an awful place at the same time. So, it just is what it is. It's cool with me. Take it from a 2-time black person. I remember when you were blocked the last time, 2%. But yeah, I'm blocked too.
2% blocked again?
I don't know. I'm not sure, but I remember when she had to come in under her other name. I certainly, I get it. It's okay. Oh man.
These are cool. Where the comments come in.
Yeah.
Oh, you're using StreamYard.
I am.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but it's a community. Usually one person can't remove another. I don't agree with that. I feel like you remove somebody if you want to. I feel like, life goes on. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. That's one thing I am not. Not worried at all. All right, folks, y'all have any questions? If not, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. I think, ultimately, my wife and I are different, and that's wonderful. That's wonderful. It's a wonderful blessing from God that we are different and we balance each other out. I lend my gifts and strengths to her. She lends her gifts and strengths to me. And I remember saying one time in a Facebook post, because a lot of times, because men are more logical, we tend to discard the intuition or discernment or whatever you want of our wives. Now, I chose well. Everybody don't choose well. So you can have a bummy spouse on your squad. But you don't want to bench the person you chose to spend your life with. It's like to discount what they have to offer and what they can give you, and insight, knowledge, understanding, wisdom, so on and so forth, is a wonderful thing. And we should not do that just because we're illogical and less emotional and so on and so forth. Yeah, it just is what it is. All right, wonderful people. This has been real. Y'all be beautiful. Could you take it if she was just like you? I don't even want to answer that. That's such a weird question.
No.
I don't like hypotheticals. Hypotheticals are for clowns.
Wait a minute. Could you? Thank you. I wonder. I would say yeah, because it's him. You know what I mean? It's
I love me.
His way of, you know what I mean? It would all make sense then. There would be no growth in him. You know what I mean? It would all be his way of doing things, and his way of doing things. Yeah. Sometimes.
All info should be welcome. You guys are very good together, and your channel is very informative. I enjoy very much. Thank you, Linda Iannoni.
Why do you keep falling?
Bummy spouse. Yeah, man. Some people do not choose well. Man, choose well. Don't be ridiculous, but choose well. You can't choose perfectly, but you can certainly choose well. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing, man. That's a whole nother thing. So many thoughts. My wife and I need to start our podcast because I feel like it would be good. But we first need to start making vlogs again. All right. Y'all be beautiful. I'm out of here. Till next time. Yeah, let's just end it there. Peace.